Adam confronts Famous Richard mid-interview for comments he made about his 3-year-old daughter. Now, for some context, Adam interviewed Famous Richard for the second time about 5 months ago. Now, during this interview, they had a very viral clip where Famous Richard, I guess, fake swings on Adam as if he was really going to punch Adam.
Gonna save him?
That's my best friend. That's my bestie.
He gonna save you?
That's my bestie.
He gonna save you. Check it out. We're not doing nothing here. We're not doing nothing here. What you mean, gang? We're not doing nothing.
Adam was down to do content, but even Adam would recognize that Famous Richard took things a little too far by trying to fake swing on him. It was a little too extra, and it really wasn't in the cards for what they talked about. So there was some type of, I guess, animosity there after the interview, but nonetheless, they did, I think, 1 million views together. So the animosity wasn't really too strong. Adam was just kind of annoyed at Famous Richard. So during the Adam and Wack show, I believe Wack brought it up, and Adam would say that he made Famous Richard, right? That, that the No Jumper interview was Famous Richard's biggest interview, and they did numbers. Now, apparently Famous Richard was upset that Adam would say that he made him. So Famous Richard began to make, comments towards Adam 22's 3-year-old daughter.
I ain't gonna lie, I said I'll smack your daughter on King David. I'll smack all of that bitty.
When dealing with certain hue of people, bro, like, lines get crossed, but even I feel like this line being crossed was a little too low. Like, this was low by Famous Richard standards to go after a 3-year-old. Now, I don't care what the content is. I don't care, if me and somebody else have beef, bro. I'm not finna threaten to smack somebody's 3-year-old daughter, bro. Like, to me, that's just too much. Now, Adam thought it was too much, too, because Adam and Famous Richard, I guess, has sort of like an unspoken agreement to where whatever goes on the podcast is content, and they can't take it personal. But Famous Richard taking it away from the podcast and, mentioning Adam's 3-year-old daughter, Adam had a major issue with that. So Adam effectively banned Famous Richard from No Jumper.
Yesterday, I had to actually finally ban Famous Richard. Now, before I thought it was all for content, all for clout, all for whatever. But in the process of responding to something I said on the Wack 100 podcast that we dropped a couple of days ago, he said, "I'm going to slap the shit out of your daughter." And that's just a no-go for me. Is that, like, we can joke around, we can do content, we can do whatever. As soon as you threaten my kid or my girl, it's over. So, I just want to make that perfectly clear. Anybody who wants to play these content games, I'm not always against it, but as soon as you cross a certain line, we're done for good. So, Famous Richard.
Regardless of your opinion on Adam, I don't think anybody who looks at this situation from an objective point of view will say that Adam is being too sensitive, bro. Like, when kids come into play, bro, like, that's where I think the buck stops, right? That's where I think jokes and trolling stops, is when kids come into play, right? So Adam bans Famous Richard. Now, I'll be real. Famous Richard, I do believe, need the No Jumper look because it's his biggest look. So Famous Richard, knowing he needs a No Jumper look, didn't really take being banned too graciously, because instead of Famous Richard, I guess, apologizing to Adam and saying, "Hey, bro, I messed up. I shouldn't have talked about your 3-year-old daughter, bro." Famous Richard doubled down some more and then began to troll Adam.
How they coming at Chicago like that?
Oh, look. Shorty, they was tweaking with me. On King David, I almost had to beat on Adam, shorty. Crib Mac tried to save him. I was going to do that to him. That's too often to roll both of them on bitty, boy. Security come in with pipe, all type of shit. My homies, I ain't going to laugh. I don't know if folks are going to blow me down or not, folks. So I had to kind of be smooth on the sit-show, Because if you know, you can't have pipe in there on King David. Come on, gang. If I would have had my pipe, I would have,
I already know you Swiss cheese.
One of they on King. Y'all think I would have let them people jump on me? Boy, I would have Swiss cheese one of they folk on my homies, gang. Then the rap would have came back down there, and then, come on, gang. I ain't none of that, folks. I really pulled their whole card, though. If you see, I was playing with through the whole interview on King David, gang.
Famous Richard didn't just stop at making unsolicited threats at No Jumper. Now, Famous Richard was, I guess, so upset that Adam 22 banned him from coming back on No Jumper that he decided he was going to make a diss track at Adam 22 where he would just disrespect Adam 22's wife, Lena.
Guess what I'm shooting with today is finally happening.
On King Dave. Shorty, y'all seen that tape? On BD, I'm trying to be next in line. Adam finna be mad when he hear this.
Hey, I'm trying to hit that next.
I'm trying to get that neck. I'm trying to hit that next. I'm trying to get that neck. Hey, Lena, let me plug. Lena, let me plug. Lena, let me plug. Lena, let me plug. Hey, I'm trying to hit that next. I'm trying to get that next.
But it didn't stop there. Yo, Famous Richard antics began to make us think that maybe Adam did something to this guy, bruh. Because there's no way that somebody would be this personal with it, like this vindictive over just being banned. Because Famous Richard will go on another podcast. Shout out to my guy Art, man. You know, Art would interview Famous Richard, and he would ask Famous Richard if he regrets, making those statements about Adam's daughter. Famous Richard would say no, he doesn't regret nothing, right? Like at all. And he would say it again, and he would smack Adam's son if Adam had a son.
Do you regret saying that?
Hell no.
Because people say, when you come to war, you leave the kids out of it.
I don't regret saying it to him.
Why not?
I'll tell his ass again. I'll smack your son. I'll smack your mama. I'll smack your grandma.
The man obviously has no remorse and felt like Adam did something to him that will warrant whatever he's saying. So Adam completely blocked him on all platforms. I'm talking about like on Instagram, Twitter, everything, right? So apparently Adam says, bro, I want nothing to do with this guy. Or so I thought, because one day I was sitting down in the office at No Jumper, and I looked up, and Adam said, yo, Famous Richard's coming. I said, huh? I thought he was banned. Now, mind you, this is a year later. So this was like last month sometime, right? A year after everything happened. I said, yo, wait, I thought he was banned, right? I thought you blocked him. Adam said, I did block him, but he reached out, to Laura, the scheduler, and he wanted to come. So Adam, allowed him to come. Now, here's the thing, though. When Famous Richard pulled up, apparently Adam still had Famous Richard blocked on Instagram. So Famous Richard thought that Adam was trying to backdoor him because Famous Richard apparently came, looked in the door and seen that Brick Baby and them was here, and he went back into his car and skirted off and drove off right away, right? So the day that the interview was scheduled, Famous Richard never came because he thought Adam was trying to backdoor him. Now, I'll be real, bro. I feel like if Adam did backdoor Famous Richard, if he was the first guest that got backdoored by Adam, I don't feel like anybody would have blamed him, right? I feel like everybody would say, bro, Adam is justified for backdooring Famous Richard. But obviously, Adam wasn't trying to backdoor him. Adam just wanted to include Brick Baby and DW Flame on the interview, but Famous Richard was too paranoid and scared, and he left. Now, he will call Laura and claim that he's not going to pull back up until he speaks to Adam. So eventually, Adam hops on the phone with him like a day later, and they were able to reschedule. So the interview finally happens. Brick Baby, DW Flame, and Adam sits down with Famous Richard, and Adam confronts Famous Richard for the things he said about his daughter.
I'm saying though, why you got me blocked for? I've been blocked for, to unblock me, gang.
Because you started talking, to me, honestly, it's like a testament to how open-minded I am that I'm even willing to have a conversation with you because you literally have made threatening, weird-ass remarks about my fucking 3-year-old daughter.
I ain't gonna lie, you took it like that, okay?
No, that's literally what you said.
You didn't diss me, you didn't diss my guys, you didn't disrespect me, gang. So when I dissed out what you, if you can't take what you diss out, gang, don't even play with me, gang.
I don't talk about people's kids. I don't know where that came from.
What you mean, gang? You took it that with me, gang, so I got disrespectful.
When did I ever say anything about your kids, your dead homies, your family members? I didn't do any of that.
A lot.
When?
You on the internet playing, gang.
Wait, what did I say? I don't do the kid games. I don't talk about people's kids.
Man, on King Dave, a nigga on my auntie Gray, you on the podcast, woofing on my name. You invite niggas up here. You ask
what
me
did I say? What did I say that made you want to insult my kid or threaten my kid or whatever the case might be?
You said I was scared. I was scared to come back to No Jump. I was scared of Crip Mac.
That was last week.
That niggas. I'm talking about this. What added on? Then I seen a.
Famous Richard never gave a real reason why he dissed Adam's daughter. Everything he said took place after he dissed Adam's daughter. Now, I believe that Famous Richard was trying to be edgy, trying to have a funny moment during an interview or on social media, and things just went horribly wrong, and he took it too far. Instead of being a man and apologizing for, I guess, taking things too far, he sort of doubled down in and not trying to come off his pride and ego, which to me is a weird hill to die on, bro. If you were to choose a hill to die on, you probably don't want to choose the hill of promising to be violent with a 3-year-old. I feel like that's the only hill that everybody will understand if you say, you know what, bro, I concede. I do not want to hit your 3-year-old daughter. I concede. Now, Adam calls Famous Richard a goofy to his face, which I was kind of shocked that Famous Richard sort of took it on the chin and didn't do anything about it.
King David.
I feel like you are pretty much like the definition of a goofy.
On the guys,
When they invented that term, I feel like they were kind of like predicting your existence.
This is for the net gang on King David. I be trolling around all that, but it's like in real life, ain't nobody gonna play with me on King David.
I heard a lot of people play with you.
Ain't nobody gonna play with me on the net. Ain't nobody go pull up a video of me a nigga
I
playing
heard
with me
your
on
pipe
video.
got took a bunch of times.
Ain't no nigga ever put to my pipe game on
heard you
King
had to pay
David.
I guess the no jumper cloud is worth it after all. I got no issues with Famous Richard, but I did find it interesting that he did do several interviews where he says he's bigger than no jumper, but he came back to no jumper and got berated for views, which, hey, listen, man, you feel me? I understand, right? You know, the 1 million views is worth it, bro. Feel me? You're not bigger than no jumper. It's worth it, right? Y'all let me know in the comment section, how do you guys think, you know, this thing worked out? Do you guys think that Adam did enough to defend his daughter? Do you feel like Famous Richard went too far? Let me know in the comment section. And if you're still watching, click on this video somewhere on my screen to find out how Ice Spice's ex-best friend revealed her horrifying secret that she's been trying to hide from everybody. Click on this video here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.